Hello Vikings, welcome back to Stationeers. You'll see there's a few extra things in place now, just because I've been experimenting with how to do this. I didn't have a definitive idea. I knew what I wanted. I didn't have an idea of how to do it, so I've been playing around a bit, and the good news is I think we can actually put it together. I haven't actually fully programmed the system. The program that's on there at the moment is just to what I was testing, and I'll show you what I've tested. So first off, the idea is that what I wanted and what I visioned inside my head was this system here, which you would pull the lever and that would basically say to the sorter downstairs, the one that's about here, that, hey, you know what, I want one of the ingots out here now. Thank you very much. So can you send it up? And what it would do is it would pause the sorter, and then if I just demonstrate with the code I got, so say let's go grab an ingot. I was going to grab just use the power controller. I could use the power controller, I suppose. But say I don't know why it keeps flicking. We'll address that. We've got power issues going on still. So say we want, bearing in mind this doesn't do anything at the moment, so I'm just explaining what I envisioned. So then you chuck, so the ingots come around, they go in, and what this does is it holds them. So that's how far I got with the code at the moment. So the sorter will then hold it, and then obviously another one won't pass in. So up here you go, oh, now it's gold. Do I want the gold? Yes or no? So you push this button to extract if you wanted it, or you push this button for next. Let's just change this over. So we could do this to request. Got level. And then this one is extract. Okay, and let's just do this as water slots reader. Right, so then what we're doing is, say you either push this to extract it, and in that case I haven't set this button up yet for the experiment. I only needed to test one button to know if the theory was working. So you push that, and then it would send it down the side that we got coming back up to here. Or you push next, and it would send it off back into the system. So if we push next now. Did I not save it? Oh, there you go. There you go. So see, it sent it out for us. So that is working just fine. Now what I've done to get this to display up here is this is reading off of the Ingot request chip, IC chip, because you can't request, for some reason you can't tell it to read the sorter itself, which is a little bit annoying. But for some reason you can't just say hash display the sorter and pick export or import or whatever. So we got it reading off the IC chip. And so if we put that gold back in, you'll see this changes. And all this is doing is, when we have a look at the code here, is getting it from here. So we're using a slot reader. It's the only other chip you're going to need other than the chips we've already got. It's reading the slot readers, reading the slot, obviously the import slot, and then the bit of code is just saying, hey, save that onto this chip from us, because you can use, which I found out, the actual IC housing chip as a little extra piece. So I'll show you how to do that. And then, like I said, this is just reading hash display, which is getting from here. And I can show you that if we just push that and then chuck this in, because it's reading it. Oh, now we know the kit controller's in there. Thank you very much. So that, I think, is pretty cool. What we're going to look at now is how to put this all together. And what we're going to do, I just want to see. This is coming out the left, isn't it? Right, okay. So I'm just going to write. So this is the code I got at the moment. And of course, these are irrelevant for the time being. What we can actually do is save this as testing. I see. So at the moment, what we've got is the ingot sorter actually downstairs is set up for mode 2. So mode 0 would just be the sorter just does its thing and it sends it left to right, left, right, left, right, which means you haven't really touched anything, and that's what the default mode is. Mode 1 will be that you're controlling it via logic chips, and mode 2 is you're controlling it by IC. So we're telling this sorter, or we're telling both of them, that's the one downstairs. I had to set this up because I had to dictate which output I needed the ingots to be coming around, because what I found, I'll show you. If we go downstairs quickly, just come away from the code for a minute, is when I was cycling, so say I got all the ingots over to these two machines, when I was cycling back around to the autolathe, because I hadn't set this sorter up, what was happening was it was going between one and the other. So I was getting half the ingots down here and half the ingots upstairs. So I had to play around with the code on this, which is how I figured it out, to say, hey, use the left one all the time for the moment, until we've got the code written. So what we're going to do now is start writing that code. And what we're going to have is, so we're going to have the ingot sorter. We can get rid of the test sorter. And we can get rid of the console, because you don't need that. So we're going to have the next button, the reader, and we're going to have the extract button, and the 5. We're going to have in here, we're going to have request ingot lever in D1. Actually, you know what? Let's change all of these. D2, D3, D4. So that is all we need, I believe. So for this to work, what we're going to do now is set it up. So at the moment we're telling the test sorter that we want it under our IC command, and we want it to stop all output, which is fine, but what we really want is we want it under IC command, and we want it to send everything to the left, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to get rid of this test one, and we're going to actually do alias, and let's say what's in import slot, and we're going to call it R1. And then we're going to say next alias next R2 alias extract R3. So we are going to now load so let's get rid of all this for the moment. We're going to go back on ourselves, and we are going to write this as it would be. So the first thing we're doing is we're just telling this system to, hey, just make it a logic and set it to output so everything's going to the left, so it continually loops around the system. That's fine. Then what we're going to do is we're going to want to load we're actually going to need alias request R4. So we're going to load the alias request. I don't know what we're doing. We're writing that wrong. We're going to load the request from the request Ingot lever, and we're going to load the setting into that. Then we're going to ask it, hey, does this, I think it's equals we need. Just drag this down so you can see it. So I think it's BEQ, I think. Yeah, so BEQ, so branch if equal, so if request is equal to 1, go to request. I don't think that's gonna work. I'll tell you what we can do. Call this process. We'll do process down here. Okay, and if it's not, then jump to go back to the start. And what also we need to do, actually, I just realized we need the COM chip. E5, because what we're going to do is the first thing, if it goes to the process, first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to store on the Ingot sorter output -1, because we're going to want it to stop sending everything through the system. We're going to want it to store on, let's see if I get this right. I got it wrong last episode, didn't I? Let's make sure we get this right. So store on the COM chip. Or is it load? No, it's got to be store. Setting can do is actually do it in here. Load import slot with the reader setting, and then we're going to save import slot to the device base. So that's the circuit board base, and setting import slot, I believe. And then what we're going to want to do is we need to load a few other things. So we need to load the load next. From the next button setting, I need to load the extract button setting. Into extract. So let's go over what we've got so far, see if I'm getting this right. So the first thing we're going to do is obviously set this all up, how we want it to work. Then we're going to load the request. For the request, we're basically getting the setting off of the lever. Has the lever been pulled? We're then going to ask it, okay, if it's been pulled, go to process. Then we're going to tell the sorter to stop sorting. We're going to tell the COM chip that we're at setting 5, which is going to, when we go back through and go to printer IC 1, I think, or 2, we're going to tell all the printers to open up and send the ingots down. So then we're going to read the import slot and get a hash. We're then going to save that hash to the chip base itself, and then that will display on the console. Then we're going to load the next button to see if that's been pushed, and the extract button, and see if that's been pushed. So now we need to compare. So let's do next and extract. And then what we can do here is jump to, oh no, what we're going to do here actually is we're just going to do if request is same as 0, then go back to the start. So we're basically saying, hey, if the lever goes back up, so it now is in a state of 0, go back to the start and just keep running this little one. Otherwise, one of these would have been pushed. So then we're going to check these. So that's going to look like, if it is equal next to 1, go to next. I can't have next actually, or extract, because do next pressed and extract pressed. Helps if I can spell pressed. Right. Nope. Why am I doing this wrong? So if next, then go to next pressed. And then we're going to check this and say extract. Is it the same as 1? If it is, go to extract pressed. Happy days. So in here, so if next has been pressed, what we want to tell our sorter to do is go to and change the output to 0. So it'll go back around to the system to the left. And then we're going to tell it to, can you jump back to the process and see if what buttons push next, if that makes sense. And then we're going to do extract pressed. So same again, we're just going to go save to Ingot sorter output, but output to 1, and again just jump back around to the process. And I think that is it. I think that will be it. Requesting ingot lever. There is one way to find out. So this is going to be request Ingot. Okay. So let's go get a new battery in our floodlight. We seriously need to look at lighting up all these rooms. That's for sure. Right. What we need to do is export that, which is now going to flash at us. Turn it off for a minute. And let's put all of these in. So we need the Ingot sorter, Ingot request sorters in there. We need requesting.
Hydration critical.
Okay, let's just go get some water. The lever. Then we want next button. Next, requesting request. Then we need the reader. Sort of slot reader, and then we need the extract button. Make sure we get all this in the right position, and then we need the COM chip. COM chip. So COM chip, extraction, reader, slot reader, request sorter, request ingot lever, and next. Right, so that should now. Incorrect logic type at line 17 apparently. Load request lever setting. Oh, maybe it's on status. Request logic type. State. Let's have a little look. Maybe we'll see if it's open. Let's make sure I got that the right way around. So load that with a device, the variable, yeah. Extract, export. Seems to be working. So that seems to be working. So all we need to do now is one final thing. Let's get some chutes up here. Just to set up now. So let's go in here. Let's quickly save that. And then we needed to change. I believe it was this one. Yeah. It's this one. So now we're going to have to just add in now to this. If this is a 5, do Ingot request. Can't spell. Don't know why these are all acting up. So now right at the bottom, just to keep it in order, we'll do Ingot request And we'll just save. Electronics, open. Oh, save. Pipe. Vendor, open 1. And save. Tool. Open 1. Okay, and as always, jump back around to the start. That should be that. And you should be able to find that now. Yep, confirm. Export that. So now, that should all work. Fingers crossed that it all works. So if we pull this, nothing's happened. That has changed to 5. Why did they not open? So load com setting, com chip setting. So it's 5. Jump to Ingot request. Ingot request. Open. Export. Did I not export it? Right, that's definitely still working. And open is 0. State 5. Why is it stating 5? Why are you not working? If it's 5, I can't see why it doesn't work. Everything else is working. This should be loading this. Maybe it's something to do with this one. So this isn't saving this back to 0 either. Which it should be. That's where I'm going wrong. Oh no. Maybe I just need to jump this round to start instead of asking it. Try that. Now it's gone to 0. Nope. Right, well that's now going back and forth. Which is what we want it to do. So it's working. I wonder if it's... I wonder if you can't work it like that because two different things are interacting with it. Which could be the case, so maybe we need to let's take this out, and what we're going to do is right, okay, what we can do, because technically this is a sensor issue. And maybe we'll just have this one right, the setting. So let's do alias Ingot request. And do default. And then we'll do, we need to alias quest Ingot R5, and we'll do load Ingot request open, and then we'll do this Ingot greater than 0, go to request, something like that, and we'll do request save com chip set in 5. Might be because maybe the two chips are are overriding each other, maybe. So maybe if I put it all on this one, it should work. And that should now show up. I don't know why it keeps making these go red. So that needs to go on to D4. Right, so we could save that. Export. You're now going to flash at me, of course you are. And we're going to want to put request Ingot lever. Turn it on. Okay, now let's try. Let's quickly go back to Ingot request. Let's make sure actually. So go back to IC2. And that's going to go down to test. Open them all up. That's fine. Export. And then Ingot request. Edit. Nope. Import. On what we can actually do on here now, actually, is we don't actually need the lever on here anymore. No. So what we can do on this is you're not going to save anything. So you are going to load request with the com chip. Setting, and if that setting is 5, then you're going to go to the process. In theory, export that. No flashing lights. Let's try this again, shall we? Well, they're all open. Right, I'm going to go ahead and say I've got the wrong outputs, the wrong way around, as they seem to just be going round and round and round. And that's still in state 5. Why is it still in state 5? What's going on? Because we haven't told it to jump to the start. That'd be why. Now we've got them all spread out. Lovely. Right, so what have we done wrong? It's almost working, guys. Almost. What have we done? So, load the com chip, and if it is 5, so we're loading request com chip. It's not jumping to... Why is it not reading this? We're going to process, but it's not. That's still working. Then it should go to -1. Until we push a button. It should stop everything. And I don't know why. And this episode is dragging on a bit, so I don't know if we're going to actually solve this right now. We're so close. Okay, so it is going through. So that part of it is working. For some reason though, it's just not. Set to mode and it's set to output. Keeps going back to 0. Why is it going to 0? We don't want it on 0. Which tells me it's looping. Gotta be looping somewhere. Because the button's not, that's why. That's why. Because it's looping back around to 0. That jumping back to the start. So it hits process. Now what we need to do is, if the lever goes back up, so if this is, for instance, request goes back to 0 on the comm chip, then go back to the start. See if that works. Whew. Oh, we've actually trapped something in there. See if this works. Seems to be working. We may have done it, guys. So say I don't want the lead. Okay, now we're missing something else. So we're so close. We are so close. Let's grab some water and some potato. Good old potato and water. So we're stuck in this bit at the moment. So if that next, we're not loading. Oh, we are loading. Maybe we don't want the setting. Maybe we want the activate. Now let's see. Oh, we have movement there. And now I seem to be back to looping. Yeah, now we're back to looping. Why are we looping again? Right. So we pushed it next. It went to output 0. Then it jumped back to the process, which should have held it in its place again. So I don't get... Ah, now it's just... Right. That's where we're going wrong. Just running through the line. Gotta jump this back round to the process. Dope. Now you should hold. Right, now if I push this. Change this back to set and it seemed to work better. Export. Not working. Maybe yield. Try a yield in there. So it just waits a tick. Now it's just holding fast. Maybe it's because of this. Goes too quick. How strange. That's very, very strange. Maybe I'm doing it all wrong. Is there a way of saying if this hits activate? Okay guys, I think we've got it working. I think all we got to do is this a bit fiddly. Got to put some yielding in by the looks of it. Otherwise it jumps. So I think maybe if we have a yield after here, and then we have a yield after here, because otherwise it goes through the system way too quick. Let's see if this works a little bit. It's probably just a case of just playing around with the yields. I had to put an extra yield, so I've put one in before the button's pushed, before it checks it. One after it's, I've just added the one now after it checks it, and then I've got it after it goes, after it's changed the output. I've got it to yield again on both. If this works, clean up. I mean, it's not clean, but if I double click it, it might work. Boom. And nothing else came out. Okay. Alright, I was just about to give up on that completely. I guess we'll use levers. I guess we'll use levers. So say we want the steel now. Oh, no, that's the one we want. Boom. Happy days. It works. Huzzah! It works. It's alive! In a roundabout way. And then if we put this back up, are you going to go back? For some reason, it's not going back. Right, so what are we checking here? So, you know what, we're not loading. We're not loading the request chip again. That's why. We're not asking it to check what the chip says. That'd be why. That's not working. Whoa, just when I was about to give up. What was it? From The Godfather 3? Just when I was about to get that back out, they pull me back in. Just about when I was giving up. We got it working. Happy days. I am happy with this now. Now it works. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll try and make this look a little bit better. And yeah. So if you've enjoyed it, leave a like. As always, push those likes up, guys. Let's get some more people in the community. Let's keep growing this. Let's share the wonder of this mess of our base at the moment as we tidy it up to the world. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all the feedback that I've been getting in the comments lately. It's been wonderful hearing about all your bases as well. I'm going to put a video up shortly in a couple of days probably, talking maybe about scheduling of the channel and a few ideas I've got, so stay tuned for that. So if you are a subscriber and you haven't done so already, hit the notification bell. You'll be able to find out when that video and other videos come out on the channel. Yeah, so thank you guys, thank you for the support, thank you for the feedback. I'm loving it, and as always, take care. I'll see you soon.